Hey, today was supposed to be errand running day, but it turned out to be crafty day. So much fun. Part of my errands involved crafting, and so that's the part I choose to focus on. So, I think I showed you that I was making these, darn it. Yeah, tea bag medallion things. And, see, they actually are a whole thing all by itself. So rather than glue it down, I got these little teeny tiny brads. Can you see that? Yeah. And they go right through that little hole, which I see that you can see, like so, right? Well, in order to, at the craft store, I found out that I could get these, just plain paper, but look at how it sets it off against the background. Isn't that pretty? So this one, when it's complete, on the inside there where it's plain, it's going to have the edges of the brad right there in the center. So I'm just going to glue this and leave the edge, leave the edge, and then the message will go here. So isn't that fun? Yes, say yes, pretend you care. Yeah, thank you. All right, so then the next thing, a few months ago we did Random Acts. And so I knitted a few squares for this lady that puts them together. They're not squares. I don't know why I call them squares. They're rectangles. She puts them together and makes blankets for the homeless. So I got in the mood to clean up my old yarn. And I've made a bunch of these. Can you see the colors? They're really pretty. And they come out almost plaid. See that, how it has kind of an argyle? It's really cool. It's just a variegated yarn. So, yeah, right. There's 2, 4, 6. I'm on number 7, and I've got enough yarn in that to finish that 7th one for sure. I don't think there'll be an 8th in it. And then I have this yarn to get rid of. What better place could there be for it than blankets for the homeless, and a whole bunch of other stuff that I won't show you. But what was exciting about it is that I've been working with these needles, which are what I've used forever and ever, my whole life, the full. Today, I found these. See how much less room they take up? Look at that. So, like, in the car tomorrow when we go driving, or even on the couch in the living room, your elbows aren't in the way. I just think it's the coolest thing, and they're so cute. It'll be much easier, I think, for little things like this. I did find that it's easier. They're supposed to be 7 by 9, and it's much easier to make them 9 by 7. This is the 9 and work your way to 7 than it is to start on the 7 side and knit your way to 9. I know that's silly, but it's a whole lot less reversing, 2 inches less reversing, and it just seems like they go much, much faster. I was whining on yesterday on Twitter and Facebook about my throat being sore and my nose running, and it's better, but it's still there. And I'm just kind of like, oh Lord, if I get my auntie sick, I will just feel horrible. So at Le Target today, that's the upscale version of Target, I got generic Dayquil and NyQuil caps and some cough drops. So hopefully that can, because I'm sneezing a little, but not a lot. And of course we always have tissue up the gum stump in the car. So hopefully that'll be fine. I don't think I'm like hugely contagious if I don't like touch her and stuff. But anyways, that's all the news that's fit to print. And don't these look warm and soft and cuddly? And it's just straight, every row is knit. So I think that's called stockinette stitch. But it makes it really stretchy, and it traps a lot of air, which I think is a good thing for a blanket. What happens is that they sew them together just haphazardly, whatever colors they have, and hand them out to the homeless, keeping them warm. She said some people live in cars, some people just live on the street. She says, do not get your feelings hurt. It is not going to get washed. It is not going to be cared for like the treasure that it is. It is just going to keep them from freezing to death on the street. And I thought, you know what, that's okay with me. That is absolutely okay with me, and that's why I'm not trying any fancy stitches or anything like that. I'm just getting rid of yarn and just knit, 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 and it takes about an hour to do one of those. So if anybody wants to knit to warm the homeless in this horrible, horrible winter, look around. This woman that I met is in the women's club. There were, last year, the year before, there were people at Michael's craft store that were collecting squares, and they just had a bin up and you can drop them in at your convenience, which I think is really nifty. Completely anonymous, so nobody can harass you like, please send us money, sending you junk mail and crap like that. That makes me so nuts. So anyway, if you're interested, there are a lot of ways to find out, and if you're really, really interested and can't find something locally in your area, drop me a note, and I will ask this lady if there's an easy way to hook up with it. Another thing any knitters or crocheters could do is knit hats for preemies and donate them to local hospitals. Check with your hospital first, but you want to make them big enough for that. That's it. That's their little head. And so you take a regular baby hat and shrink it down, get small needles and small stitches, and still you can make a hat in an evening. I did those one year, and that was kind of fun. I just did white and yellow and baby green, and I did some pink and some blue just for the hell of it, and then I quit. I just did it one winter. But they're always in poor hospitals where there's lower levels of prenatal care. There's always babies being born, and I guess preemie hats are hard to find. So it's a worthwhile cause. Check with the hospitals in your area. If you want to knit for charity, there's always a million places to donate, and it gives you a warm and fuzzy feeling inside as well as out. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope everybody's going to have a great weekend. We'll be gone all weekend. My son is going to keep the home fires burning, and I'll be back Sunday night, Monday morning.